You want to end up like that guy? Sorry. Don't become a
56% of women
statistic.
have been described as unlikable at work. And that's not even some kind of rage bait headline. It's actually true. There was some research conducted last
Sorry,
year by
forgot.
a company called Textio,
Yeah, apparently this
and they
happened.
scanned
I don't
the
know if
language
it's
used
true.
in 23,000 appraisals globally. And what they found was that 56% of women were described as unlikable in their appraisals, compared to 11% of men. And what's even worse is that 78% of women were described as emotional in their work appraisals versus 16% of men. This pisses me off for so many reasons, but the primary reason is because for so long,
Sorry,
likability has been used
forgot
as
to
a
mute.
stick to beat women with. And it's holding us back because so often, especially at work, when we send emails, when we're talking in a meeting, we're thinking, am I being lovely enough? Am I being soft enough? Did I say please enough? Did I apologize enough? And that's really convenient because we're always second guessing if we were palatable enough for that situation. We have to stop using likability as a legitimate measure when it comes to women at work. I would much rather be judged for my talent, my intelligence, and my ability to do a job rather than how willing I am to wrap myself in glitter every single damn day.
So I found some articles linked back to
So
this
I'm guessing you would rather take criticism than become a yes man
study, and as you guys can see here, it says more than a
or a
decade ago in
doormat.
2014, it was found that 76% again of high performing women received negative feedback compared to 2% of men based on their personality. They were described as abrasive and difficult. Now, this isn't men only survey, right? These are male and females who are taking part in these surveys. It says here, regardless of performance level, women received around 22% more personality-based feedback compared to men. Now, again, it reiterates
Interesting.
that the
Why?
gender of the manager wasn't significant. It was
Regardless of performance, women received around 22% more personality based. For me, I don't personality. Personality for me is like a fucking afterthought. I just want to know that you can do the job well. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know can you get this this I don't know design or architecture measure out correctly, right? Can you do these things that you said that you could do, right? I don't care about your personality. I just care if you can get the job done.
was both male and females that were saying this. And it says here that more than a
I
third of
mean, you can be abrasive all you want, as long as you can become, as long as you can become respectable for like 10 minutes or a few minutes, just to get the point across, right? I just get the job done, and that's fine. You can be as abrasive afterwards all you want. The job done.
women thought that their gender played a role in them missing out on management opportunities and promotions. Now, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of this is subjective because
Yeah,
there's no real way to know.
yeah. Right. This is just going off. I'm guessing by surveys, right? And surveys are hugely subjective, especially when they're giving you certain questions,
But
because the questions are very, in a sense, personal, right? And it's very subjective in that person's area, right? It's objective to that person, but it's subjective to to the overall study.
when it comes to work, especially post Me Too movement, I do believe that there are definitely instances that a woman's gender plays a part in her not getting these things. I have to be honest. I talked
I mean, I mean, given what we had with Amber Heard and the rise of the Karens, probably, yeah.
About a study
I mean, you have some of these Gen Zers, right, who feel the same way,
ages ago where it was like
right? Feminists.
63% of male managers don't want to work with women.
I shouldn't say all feminists. I should say certain feminists.
If they don't feel comfortable working with women, then how are women going to get these promotions?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, as men already, it's easier for two.
I think for men, it's easier to get in friendly competitions and competitions like that versus women. I don't know how it is for women. I don't know their background in competition, but for men, I think it's pretty simple and straightforward for them to get in. I don't know how
Men
it
to
is for
bond
women
and
though.
because again, promotions, raises, these are all
Yeah.
about connections. It's way easier for two men to have a connection than it is a man and a woman. And when you take
True.
into consideration all the, I don't know if you call it politics or there's just a lot of, it's just different,
I mean,
right?
you're biologically different, right? I mean, you may have some of the same hobbies in a sense, but how you perceive things are to your gender, right, to your biological sex.
You can compliment your male colleague when he comes in. Looking good today, like the suit. If you do that to a woman, nice dress, that could be taken a certain way. A lot of women don't like being complimented about their
Correct.
appearance at work. I've had conversations with women who say, every time I come to work, my appearance is addressed. If I wear a suit, someone talks about it. If I wear a dress, someone talks. So there are a lot of women who don't want compliments. You know, you make a mistake and you call a woman darling or sweetie at work. These things
Honey,
could be offensive.
yes, baby.
Sometimes, like
Sometimes,
even
yeah.
now, people will go to me that I don't know.
Well,
or
don't
a
call
man
them
or an older
baby.
man will go, listen, sweetie, or honey, or baby, or something.
Yeah.
And I'll say, because it's intention that matters to me. If they're being disrespectful, that's one thing, and I'll shut it down.
Yeah.
However, if they're saying it because they don't know, I will say, I know that you meant that in such a kind way, but women don't really like that. Women don't really like that unless it's coming from a loved one or somebody that they have an intimate relationship.
True.
And I've mostly been met with, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But once they've shown me who they are or they're intentionally disrespectful, then I shut it down.
Which is why the male managers prefer to work with men. And this definitely will have a negative impact on women. So I don't necessarily disagree with the women who think that their gender plays a role in them not getting promotions or pay rise. I think that is the case. Maybe not all the time, but definitely a factor. The idea of women being a certain way at work, I went down the rabbit hole and there is a complete side of TikTok where women are speaking about dealing with other women at work and how mean and unlikable they can be.
It's probably the same thing with
video, and I wanted to stitch
men
it, but
too.
I couldn't.
I mean, if you go on
So
TikTok
I'm
or
just gonna tell
Instagram,
you
you'll probably
guys,
find tons of this
She
shit.
was talking about how at work settings, there will always be a woman or a group of women that do not like you. And the way that you can pick up on this is through their actions, how they treat you. They might come into the work environment, say hi to everyone else, and not say hi to you. They might do just little things, but they're showing you that they do not like you. So
Some politicians do this. You get, and they do it to friend or foe, right?
So I have a story about this. A job that I used to work at previously, it was really cliquey. Very cliquey. The women were a lot older. And let me tell you, when you work sometimes with older women and you come into the space and you might be a little younger, maybe you're pretty, maybe you care about how you look, you will automatically be a target.
Yeah, older
That's a whole
women.
Other video. However, in my case, I was younger than most of the people on my team, and I would dress up to work.
Being a young, attractive woman in the workplace, you care about your appearance,
Yeah.
you're gonna get hate because all the men are gonna notice you, right?
Yeah.
The women who were the no, they were the top dogs before you came there, are no
No,
longer
yeah,
that, and you're
right.
gonna be
They're
perceived as a threat.
they're giving
Young,
you all
beautiful
the looks
women tend
instead.
to get more favorable treatment by older male colleagues.
If I am the employer
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
a woman,
Yeah, I've
and
seen
there
this
is
before.
a very, very beautiful woman beneath me, am I less likely to promote her?
I hate to say this, but I think that yes, there is a chance that that would in fact be the case. And you hear a lot about this when you hear about the sort of
I
queen
think I've
bee
seen this
syndrome, where you'll have
video.
women feeling like they're being penalized unfairly because of their attractiveness by older women. And honestly, I think that some of the things that we've seen with, women trying to protect younger women from things like sexual harassment in the workplace, that some of this is actually an attempt by these women who are protecting these younger women of trying to prevent these younger women from having a resource acquisition advantage based on their beauty. Because I think that many times what you tend to see when women are trying to prevent other younger women from being sexually exploited.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're trying to level the playing field, right, in a sense, right? If they don't have the looks, right, they will try to slump you down so that they can have the same playing field.
Is what's going on is you have younger women who are physically attractive and who are using their physical attractiveness as a means of being able to get,
Promotion,
favors.
yeah,
The form that this
favors.
generally takes
More
is you'll have young,
likability.
beautiful women,
Right.
and if they have male supervisors, they just favor them because they're beautiful women. And I think that when you are an older woman and you see this going on, right, on the one hand, you can be concerned about the young women being exploited.
I don't agree with that, by the way, because again, that's not what the data suggests. It suggests that these managers, these supervisors,
I mean,
actually don't want to work with women. I would assume
it could
the
be
more
case,
attractive
but I don't
a
know.
woman is, the less
If the data
likely
doesn't show
you'd
that,
wanna
though, I
work with
wonder
her.
why she's saying. Well,
I
I'm
would
pretty sure
actually
that
assume
podcast would
that the more
happen like
attractive
a
a
year
woman
ago or
is
something.
working under a male manager, the less likely she is to get promotion. Because if she gets a promotion, now everybody's going to be looking at the manager going, yeah, we know why you gave her a raise. Yeah, we know why you gave her a promotion.
You can also be concerned about the fact that there might be unfairness going on and that these young, beautiful women may have.
I mean, I guess you could say the case with Joy Taylor, right? Yeah, this bitch. Yeah, she slept her way to the top. Yeah, so I mean, it's case by case, right? A lot of shit happens. Humans are humans, and they go down a lot of different paths.
An advantage that you don't have yourself because you're not a young, beautiful woman. And so sometimes I think that there are these two forces at play when we see the move toward trying to separate young, beautiful women from men in power. In part, that's driven by genuine concern for the younger women, but then also based on a desire to eliminate unfairness based on the fact that young, beautiful women tend to get more, sort of favorable treatment by older male colleagues.
I think that's a perception. That's an idea. I'm not saying it never happens, but I think that all that is conjured up in the mind of these older women, which is why they become mean to these younger women, which is why they make
the older
workplace
women
so
feel like they're not
unenjoyable
being looked at anymore,
for
right?
these younger women. They have all these ideas in their head
Correct.
about how this woman's going to be treated and the advantages that she has or is going to have, and it makes them act a certain way to these women.
Is a middle-aged woman bullying you at work? I'm going to tell you how to handle it from another middle-aged woman. So here's the deal. Once women hit middle age, they ask themselves inevitably, we all ask ourselves the same question, is my life what I thought it would be? And the answer is either yes or it's no. And if it's no, they fall into two categories. One is, great, I need to keep learning and figure out how to pivot so that my life becomes what I want it to be. Or two, they become victims of their own circumstances and make everyone else around them fucking pay for it.
Oh,
Not you, my little
shit.
Gen Zs, my little Jennifer Elizabeth C's, because you guys are already leaps and bounds ahead of us. You are going to get to middle age and you're going to fucking dominate it. I have no doubt. A woman in your office who is bullying you recognizes that she's unhappy in life, but she is resistant against making any changes to fix it. Why? Because she was sold the same bill of goods we all were, that we would hit middle age and life would be easier, and it's simply not. That's not realistic, and she is not adapting to that. What she's doing is she's taking the path of least resistance, which is to try and control everything and everyone around her. It's
Yeah.
busy work to make her feel like
Karens.
she's doing something.
Oh, no,
when
the
she's really not. So what are you
Karens.
gonna do about it? You're gonna beat her at her own game. Okay, it's a two-pronged approach
Trying
here. What
to
do
rule
middle-aged
the
women fucking love to do in the
world.
workplace? They love to document shit and go to HR. It's
It's
their
a
fucking
bug.
lifeblood. And every middle-aged woman acts like she fucking invented documenting and going to HR. So she
Most of the
Just
times
fucking
when women
going
get
to
pulled up
HR.
about dressing or the way they
Yep,
act,
Karens.
by other
Yeah.
women. It's not a bunch of men out here snitching.
Yeah, it's
It's the women.
Karens. Yeah, it's
she's
the
not expecting,
Karens,
number
dude.
one, anyone
The
to put her at her
Karens
own
are
game.
snitching.
And number two, she's not expected to be confronted with her own behavior. So you're going to take it a step further because you should document everything, obviously. That's just good sense. What you're going to do, though, is you are going to buy yourself a little notebook, a little journal, make it pretty, make it cute. Next, you're going to come up with your own little key, your own little legend for basically any of the interactions. It could be whatever you want. Let's say it's a microaggression. Microaggression is a triangle, for example. Let's say it's just outright
Oh,
rudeness.
no, the
outright rudeness is a circle.
microaggressions.
Every single time she does something, you are immediately going to jot that down with whatever symbol or whatever you came up with, an initial, M for microaggression, or a triangle, whatever you want to do. You're just going to do that one little note within view of her, so she sees you doing it. You want to do a symbol. You can go back in and fill in the incident when you're out of eyesight and you have a few minutes, but you just want that one little symbol. So she can't actually see what you're writing or understand what you're writing, but it's a visual marker every time she does something. Here's the key, don't make a big show of it. It's going to start becoming a conditioned response. She's going to notice that every time she does something shitty, which she knows she's doing something shitty, you make a little note here. And
Yeah,
she's
I
gonna
wouldn't
start
do
to
that in
second-guess
front
herself.
of the
First of all, she's
person,
gonna
to be
like, "Am I
honest."
noticing that? Like, is that happening? That's number one. Number two, it's going to start to confront her with her own behavior. Number three, it's going to show that you're noticing it,
Yeah.
but you're not reacting to it the way she's expecting or hoping you will. And the thing is, she knows if she confronts you about it, she's going to have to admit to her own
I
actions.
don't know
Like,
if
why
you
are
should
writing
do
something
this.
down every time you what?
I mean, it
It's how you
sounds
be
like
quick
a
with it.
good
I mean,
good
carry
idea
that
on
little
paper, but I
notebook
don't
and
think
pen
you
around with
should
at all times. It's got to be like training a
Start
dog.
some
You
shit.
can't tell a dog to sit and then give them the treat 5 minutes later. It's got to be immediate. There is going to come a point where she realizes you're doing it every time she does something shitty.
Oh,
And
God.
she's going to be forced to face her own behavior, as well as to face the fact that it's not going unnoticed. Anticipate that it might get a little bit worse before it gets better because she's going to be testing. She's going to be like, is she writing shit down about me? And she's going to start testing it and then start paying attention for behavioral changes, because here's the thing. She's going to be on alert and she's going to start changing her behavior. Or she's not, and you've already documented that shit for HR.
This is long, bruv. like real talk. Is this what you guys have to do to navigate the workplace?
Yeah,
I
like,
mean,
what the
oh
fuck,
my
man?
God. Look, I get it. Nobody wants to be bullied, and sometimes you work with people who just don't like you for whatever reason.
Yeah,
But
that's
surely a
true.
conversation, just hash it out. One conversation, sort it out. No?
Y'all want to know what's starting to piss me off? Every job I go to, it's a group of hating ass bitches that hate me just because off the strength of that I'm a pretty ass
Oh
bitch.
shit, dude! What is happening?
I'm over that. Like, I thought I got rid of all the hating bitches from my last job. I thought I was over hating ass bitches. I come to this job, everything cool, copacetic at first, but we got this new bitch in our department. Old ass bitch. Bitch, old.
Now I got the new bitch in the department. Old ass. God, dude, it's the Karens. The Karens are ruining everything.
Just fuck. 41 years old, act like a child. And every time I
Oh yeah, the man. Fucking adult the fucking man children's or the women Oh god. Oh, dealing with those people are it's so fucking terrible. Oh god. How did they get by in society? I guess people felt sorry for them, so they just they just looked away. I was like, yeah, just go ahead, go on by. Yeah.
I don't even
No.
talk to the bitch. That's the bad part. I don't even get there's no reason to be on
Yo,
some hating ass shit towards
Felicia,
me, 'cause
it's
I don't even say
okay.
nothing
You
to
can.
her.
It's alright.
But every time I leave work
don't worry
and I
about.
come back the next day, it's some funky ass shit this bitch done said, or just some hating ass shit she done
Oh
did.
Jesus.
I'm over that. Like, what be wrong with these? It's always the older bitches.
The
What
older
be wrong with
bitches.
them? Like, I can't help. I'm a bad bitch. Even on my worst day, like, I ain't had my hair done in about a month, or my nails. And you hating on what are you hating on me for? Like, I am so
They're
over the
just,
grown bitches
yeah, the
hating on young
haterade
bitches.
is
Like, bitch, I
strong,
can't
right?
help you. I can't help it. On my worst day, bitch, you still can't fuck with me. Sorry.
Look, generally speaking, on a regular, like, if this was any other topic, and these women were coming out and they were saying, every time I go to these workplaces, I'm getting hate, I'd say maybe look in the mirror. You know, if you're going to all these places and
No,
everybody
I
doesn't
mean
like you, all the
there's
women don't like
I
you,
mean you already had
maybe
like
you're doing
what, three
something. But
women
I
already
actually
talk about
believe
it.
that a lot of these women are getting hate, not because of anything they've done. It's more about like who they are perceived to be, or
Yeah.
who, like, just their presence.
A lot of you guys have reached out to me because people don't like you and you don't know why, and you want to understand why they don't like you. I just did a longer video about this, so make sure that you check it out. However, just a few highlights with regard.
The thing is, right, we're only getting like one side of the story, right? Right, we're getting the side of the story of what her subjective thinking is on what this person is thinking. Right, it's if you wanted to get full objectivity, you would get the other side to actually come over and talk. But yeah, I mean, this is just purely on a one-sided
To
thing.
the reasons why people don't like you, and that is because number one, they don't like themselves. They are insecure. They think that you have it all, and
Insecurity,
until you
yes,
guys
that is big.
understand that the issue, notice there was a buzzword there.
Oh, no.
It has nothing to do with you. I shared an affirmation on my longer form video, and it talks about
What do you
people's
mean they?
release of
What do you
all
mean,
fears
you
and
people?
doubts. And usually, you guys, a lot of insecurities
They?
are rooted
Excuse
in fears
me?
and doubts. Fears that people don't measure up to you. So don't apologize for your gifts, your talents, your beauty, because those are yours.
Correct.
And those problems are theirs. So I hope this.
Yeah, if someone's gonna come at you just because of some superficial thing about you, yeah, you should toss those people aside. Those people are just weird and they're insecure, literally, for some fucking weird reason. Insecure.
Information helps. Listen, people's with bostonculture.org.
Which is why, under normal circumstances, a video like this, I'd be like, really? You think you're that great that everybody just looks at you and they just see what they don't see in themselves? But in a lot of these circumstances at work, I think that's the case.
I mean, look, you when you're talking to anyone, right? I don't know. When you're having conversation between two people, you're obviously not trying to cause some shit, right? Just trying to have a friendly conversation, right? Unless you want to cause some shit. I mean, that's all on you, right? But yeah. If 56% of women are described as unlikable, why are we bashing men for not wanting to date them, right? Correct. Some of them who say they are hated because they pretty, or not even pretty. Talking about this one chick over here. This chick right here, or this chick? Well, I mean, yeah, I remember seeing. I think I've seen this chick before. I remember her, and I remembered this person because I think I watched this whole podcast of this guy. This guy does a lot of interviews and stuff. A lot of talking about concepts and about social aspects of a lot of things. What time is it? Okay.